They trying not to put Shedeur on the field, but that's making his brand bigger.
The NFL wanted to see Shedeur and Deion humbled. And having Shedeur stuck all the way down at fourth string in Cleveland, Ohio with the Browns.
Shedeur Sanders just sent shockwaves through the league, signing a massive Nike contract that the NFL never saw coming. This is a direct challenge to the league's old business playbook. And with one bold move, Shedeur Sanders has officially shocked the NFL and rewritten what it means to be a rookie.
Oh, honestly, bro, I really don't look into that. I don't care. Whenever it's time for me to get out there and play, I'm going to play.
It began with what looked like a small gesture. Shedeur Sanders handing out custom Nike cleats to his teammates. Beneath that casual flex was a truth the league couldn't ignore. Those cleats sold out instantly. A so-called appreciation gift had become a symbol of something much bigger. It was the first crack in the wall, the first sign that Sanders wasn't just another rookie. He was about to turn the entire business model of the NFL upside down.
Shakur can play, for real. And everybody's got an opinion. In fact, we live in a world of opinionaires. I just feel like...
Because while most rookies step into the league begging for a chance to prove themselves, Shedeur walked in with leverage. Hidden inside his rookie deal was the prime equity clause, a revolutionary contract detail that gave him a percentage of every single dollar tied to his name. Jerseys, sponsorships, media rights, even digital content. No rookie in history had ever secured this kind of financial power. It wasn't just a contract, it was a declaration. Sanders would not be treated as an employee. He was stepping into the NFL as a partner.
$14 million in commission from $250 million earned from his jersey sale.
And the numbers proved him right. Within weeks of his debut, Sanders had already earned $14 million from jersey sales alone. $14 million. To put that into perspective, his entire 4-year rookie contract with the Cleveland Browns is worth just $4.6 million. He tripled that before the season even started. That's not just good business. That's a complete rewrite of what it means to be a rookie in the National Football League.
The more leverage in every walk of life.
My expectations have absolutely changed. Absolutely. My expectations have changed because a lot of what we're hearing from Cleveland has changed again.
That single figure shattered every assumption about rookie marketability. For decades, NFL executives believed jersey sales were the domain of established stars, quarterbacks with rings, Hall of Fame names, proven icons. But Sanders changed that narrative overnight. In weeks, he sold more jerseys than most rookies manage in their entire careers. He instantly became the highest-selling rookie since his father, Deion "Primetime" Sanders, dominated the league decades earlier. The legacy had come full circle, and the league was forced to confront a reality it wasn't ready for.
Shedeur Sanders is going to be one of the richest quarterbacks ever. Prime equity. I want you guys to understand that word, prime.
Think about what that means. While most fifth-round picks are fighting just to stay on a roster, Sanders generated more merchandise revenue than entire franchises do in a season. He didn't just beat expectations, he obliterated them. And with the prime equity clause in place, he personally pocketed millions from that tidal wave of sales. The NFL's carefully designed salary system, a structure built to keep rookies cheap and controllable, suddenly looked outdated. Shedeur Sanders had hacked the system.
Many in the NFL wanted to teach Shedeur and his daddy a lesson.
It's a lie. When Shedeur signed his deal with the Browns, which was $4.6 million, there was a clause in his contract that was called prime equity. This clause...
And this is exactly why the league is uneasy. Because if one rookie can negotiate equity, what happens when others follow? What happens when the next generation of players demands ownership instead of waiting years for a second contract? The jersey sales alone have already exposed the cracks. $250 million for a rookie quarterback doesn't just look unusual, it looks revolutionary.
Clause ties into brand legacy and financial future to his on-the-field performance, allowing him to potentially benefit from the value he brings beyond just playing football.
That's why Shedeur's story has taken on a life of its own. It isn't just about football anymore. It's about power, leverage, and the new economics of sports. Sanders isn't simply another athlete cashing a Nike check. He's building a business empire in real time. Every cleat, every jersey, every viral celebration is part of a larger strategy. one that's forcing the NFL to reckon with a future it can't fully control. And the scariest part for the establishment? He's just getting started.
Just telling you, this young man can play quarterback at the highest level in this.
Nike doesn't just hand out contracts. They don't gamble. When Nike bets, they bet the farm. And in 2024, before the NFL even knew where Shedeur Sanders would land, the swoosh had already circled his name in red ink. He wasn't just another prospect in their eyes. He was the face of a movement. Nike made Shedeur the first ever NY football athlete, locking him in before draft night even had a script. Think about that for a second. A shoe giant with a $150 billion market cap put their chips on a kid who didn't even know if he'd go in the first round or the fifth. That's not faith. That's vision.
He is capable of being a franchise quarterback and taking a team to the pro.
And Nike wasn't just signing a quarterback. They were signing a story. By April 2025, they went nuclear with a social media blitz. Custom gear, behind-the-scenes clips, bold ads, Shedeur was everywhere. It didn't matter if you were scrolling TikTok, walking past a sneaker shop, or flipping through ESPN highlights. You saw him. Nike made sure of it. But here's the genius part. They didn't just sell Shedeur. They sold nostalgia. They reached back into the vault and pulled out Deion Sanders' iconic Air DT Max 96 sneakers, but reimagined for Shedeur. It was a full-circle marketing masterstroke. Fathers who once laced up Primetime's kicks now saw their sons lining up for Shedeur's. Nike knew they weren't just selling shoes. They were selling a dynasty.
In the football sense of a very talented rookie quarterback who obviously needs reps, he needs an opportunity, and who is now trapped as the fourth-string quarterback on the active 53-man roster.
And notice something. Nike didn't give a damn about his draft position. First round, fifth round, 144th overall. Irrelevant. They weren't looking at Shedeur as a pick. They were looking at him as a generational brand builder, a walking, talking empire in cleats. And in the eyes of Nike, that was worth more than any draft grade.
Too much talk. Everybody got an opinion. Yeah. Everybody's sitting around getting fat, thinking they know how to do it. Just because you can sit behind a desk and chit-chat doesn't mean you can do a damn thing.
But the NFL didn't quite see it that way. Draft day 2025 was supposed to be Shedeur's coronation. Some analysts had him pegged as a first-round lock. And then, the slide happened. One by one, names were called. First round gone, second round gone, third and fourth gone. By the time his name was finally called at 144th overall in the fifth round, jaws were on the floor. How does a quarterback with his pedigree, his numbers, his spotlight, and his marketing clout fall that far?
We want to make sure we suppress it so he gets as little of it as possible. This clause was for the team. This clause is for the Cleveland Browns, as Cassius 30 says. That's not the NFL.
Insiders whispered about one answer: the contract. Specifically, the prime equity clause. The same revolutionary clause that made Shedeur a business partner instead of a rookie employee was the very thing that terrified NFL executives. Teams weren't just evaluating his arm strength or his decision-making. They were calculating the risk of blowing up the entire rookie system.
Press someone who's going to make us more money, 94.4% on his 5.6%, but we want to make sure he doesn't get any of it.
And to protect themselves, owners pushed narratives. Suddenly, Shedeur became arrogant. Suddenly, his fashion sense, the same watch-flexing, diamond-dripping style that made him a viral sensation, was being spun as a negative. It was all smoke, all excuses. The real fear was that if Shedeur pulled this off, every rookie behind him would demand equity too. And that's the kind of precedent NFL ownership doesn't want anywhere near their billion-dollar control machine.
He'll be stashed in the shadows in Cleveland, Ohio, on what a lot of people think is the NFL's worst team.
But while the league played politics, Nike played chess. They didn't wait for Shedeur's name to be called. Their marketing campaign was already rolling like a freight train. Nike had him on Times Square billboards before he even touched an NFL field. They had viral ads lined up around his watch celebration, that famous wrist point flex he loved to flash. Nike turned it into a cultural symbol overnight. what the critics called arrogance, Nike packaged as confidence, swagger, identity. And the results were staggering. Overnight, Shedeur wasn't just a draft pick, he was a superstar. Nike didn't just create ads, they created moments. The kind of cultural touchpoints that money alone can't buy. From custom sneakers that sold out in hours, to cleats that became collectibles, to TikTok campaigns that had millions of views before preseason even kicked off. Nike turned Shedeur into more than an athlete. They turned him into a movement.
Because he came into the NFL already a brand, the NFL has to cut him a piece in order to access that.
And that was the point. Nike wasn't betting on completion percentages. They weren't betting on win-loss records. They were betting on culture, on the Sanders name, on the ability to capture attention in a market where attention is the most valuable currency. And they knew that if the NFL was too slow to crown him, they'd crown him themselves. So by the time Shedeur finally did step onto the field, the groundwork was already laid. He wasn't walking into the NFL as a fifth-rounder. He was walking in as a fully packaged cultural icon. Nike had made sure of that.
That night that Shedeur fell through the first round of the draft and then continued to fall, fell all the way obviously to 144th in the draft, fifth round.
And here's the kicker. The NFL may have thought it was protecting itself by letting him slide to 144th, but all they really did was fuel the story. Because now, Shedeur Sanders isn't just a star quarterback. He's the rookie who exposed the politics, embarrassed the scouts, flipped the marketing game, and walked away with both the Nike crown and the last laugh. And that's the part the league still can't wrap its head around.